Yep. Good morning, Chicago Bears. It finally happened. The greatest season we've ever had, possibly, at least in my lifetime, including the Super Bowl season that we lost in the Super Bowl. This is the greatest season I've ever experienced. And it is finally over. And it wasn't like it's disappointing, but it wasn't a disappointment. Do you know what I mean? Which is such a relief to be proud of the way we exit the season, right? So here where I'm at, the game showed at 2:30 a.m. So I had to wake up to watch, and I was going to do the same thing I normally do and go to sleep at halftime because we don't show up until I stop watching. But I decided to watch the full game, which went into overtime, and it was an excellent game. I took notes on this game, which I'm driving, so obviously I can't read the notes. And maybe I'll do another podcast about it or whatever. But we had 5 possessions in the first half, 5 possessions in the second half, and then 1 possession overtime. And I feel like for losing for 3 points, when you take away the 3 interceptions that we threw, we dropped so many good passes, including a touchdown in the first to Cole Kmet, or no, Loveland. So many beautiful first down opportunities that we let get away. We did so many dumb runs, to my opinion. Probably at least 4 or 5 runs to the inside handoffs with no gain. No, we just didn't get the picture. And then we would do these tosses to the outside where obviously the running back has time to make a decision. A misdirection that we did at the 4th quarter or overtime maybe, where we blocked right and ran crossed to the left, where it was like, yeah, obviously. So one of my comments during the game was, I said, we don't have power backs. We have, I said, Manunge is in fact our, excuse me, let me get this right. Manunga is in fact our bruiser, but he is no beast mode. I'm unimpressed with their attempts to run people over every time they get the ball and there's no hole. Like, we wasted 3rd and 4th down, I believe, on one series trying to run the ball in the middle, and it just wasn't happening, and I'm sure we got a 1 or 2 through the middle, but majority of our successful runs were on the outside. Roma Dunze dropped 2 key passes in my opinion, and he caught 2 great passes as well. So 50-50, but it's like, so unfortunately, as much as I love this team and I think it can improve if we just work on those things, we're not going to have the same team next year. Bears history, we only get one team every 10 or 15 years. So I hope this wasn't our one shot and then we're going to go back to the bottom for another 20 years, because then I'll be 60 the next time we do something nice. But it was a wonderful season. It was a wonderful game. I was proud of them, even with the mistakes, start to finish. I felt like they actually played complimentary football for 4 quarters, if that makes sense. Even though in the 3rd quarter, we didn't score anything. We didn't score a single point in the 3rd quarter, but we kept the game close. I was confident, even when we let them score their last touchdown or whatever, to put it up to 17. I was like, yep, cool. So we got plenty of time. I know we're going to score. And as we do, that 4th quarter, last 4th down pass with 4 seconds on the clock or whatever was unbelievable. I laughed, almost brought a tear to my eye. It was emotional because I've never, most of the time, because I'm on the other side of the world, I don't get to see it live, but the one time I did was the 49ers game, and it seemed like everybody was banking on him doing something so magical, which he did again, lose by one throw, which, man, every game that we lost, I think, except for probably that that game against the Lions in the beginning of the year, I guess. I don't know. I can't think of many of them that we didn't lose by down to the last play. So that fourth quarter throw was incredible. I don't even know how that worked. I don't know how the guy who was guarding gave him, I don't know. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And getting that, winning the toss in the overtime was really cool, and deciding to kick was cool, and then making them go 3-and-out was freaking awesome. And all I wanted us to be on like second down, and I wanted Cairo Santos to say to the coach, let me put him to bed. Didn't matter how far out we were, I just wanted him to be like, let me put him to bed, coach. 60-yarder, second down, you know what I mean? Because we were still slightly uncomfortable in offense, in my opinion, slightly unsure, slightly unconfident as an offensive unit, whereas the defense was banging them in, out, left, right, and they got a couple of nice chunk plays on us. I give them that, but man, the defense wanted to smoke the whole game. It was so cool to see. It felt like I felt like our week series was special teams didn't do any super magical things. They didn't screw up, but they didn't do anything cool. Duvernay took like a soft, fair catch one time, and I thought he could have probably done some more. And then he made some silly cuts on a couple of the returns where if he'd have went maybe a little more patient, went to the outside or cross field, could have seen some more grass. But overall, the special teams didn't make any major mistakes. They just didn't do anything magical. The defense had like 4 sacks. Unbelievable. It was so good to see, coming from the secondary, of course, because our D-line doesn't get through. But, man, it was cool. It was a great game. It was a great way to end the season. For me, what I want us to do, if we could keep all the same people, I would make these freaking receivers catch bricks in the offseason. All of them. Just throw bricks at them. Like, unbelievable. They call Caleb inaccurate, but I mean, I looked at probably over 100 yards of drop passes that were hitting guys in the hands when we needed it. In the hands. If you're going to run and dive and do a route like that, then be able to catch when you're laid out. Unbelievable. And then there was a magic catch. DJ Moore does a one-handed over the head, bat to himself, reception type of thing, under coverage. Like, that's impressive. But we need it every time. We don't need you to, I don't know. Especially, the crazy thing is, those super miracle catches wouldn't probably be necessary if, when Caleb puts the ball in your fingertips, you kept it. We wouldn't. The first series would have been a touchdown, okay, for sure. He dropped a touchdown in his hands, okay. Then for fourth down, because we go for it on fourth down more than we kick field goals. Now that's the other thing. Potentially, if we'd have been kicking field goals instead of going for it on fourth down, we would have probably had another 3 or 6 or 9 points, which would have definitely made the game look different. So there's that, but I'm not mad about that. I like it. I like to put the balls out there and let's go for it. So I'm not mad about that. But that fourth down play in the first series, they didn't give us a roughing the passer when the guy swatted him in the face and I think almost knocked him down after the ball was released. A blatant, this is a flag if it's Tom Brady, or if it's Purdy or somebody else, but not us. So they missed that. And then we got one slightly, not quite as bad, but I saw we got one on them later in the game where they didn't call him hitting the quarterback in the head. But, I'm absolutely proud of the team. There's a lot of people on the team that I like. There's a lot of people on the team I think suck. Jaquan Brisker proved himself for sure tonight. He was probably the leading tackler as a secondary player. He was incredible, and he kept coming back for more. Burden was awesome on receiving, but he also dropped probably 2 or 3 that hit him in the hands. So again, get some sure hands. Keep the same receivers. Don't draft a receiver. I would love to draft a real running, but Swift is cool, but I would keep Monangai. I would trade Swift. I don't know, or keep them. They're cool. They work good together, but get Barry Sanders to teach him how to change direction or something. I need Crosby or Myles Garrett though. That's what I need. I would give up draft picks and get somebody who's not dancing. I need somebody like Myles Garrett or Sidney or Crosby to get on the line and force it. Because when we're touching the quarterback, Matt Stafford was looking crazy in the first half. Looking crazy. So the second half he learned he had to throw the ball way faster, which messed up their timing. They only scored, was it 20 points on us? And 3 of them came in overtime. And everybody thought we were about to get wiped. They thought we were about to go in there and get our clocks clean. That was a freaking awesome game. That was an incredible effort. I do wish we could be, again, more efficient on offense, but the defense surely kept us in the game. They were giving 3 and outs left and right, and we were doing nothing with them, and it was our weather. We had the advantage. We had everything going for us, and even had the ball in overtime with plenty of time, and we threw a pick, which, if it didn't get down to those tight situations, that series where he threw the pick, there were 2 other passes that did get caught, I want to say. And so it forced him to have to look for something bigger, because when we do the sure, like 8-yard or 12-yard passes, and guys are obviously hand checking and battling for the ball, but like if you don't catch it, that puts us in that position. So Caleb Williams threw 3 picks, which isn't normal for him in a game, but hey man, it was windy, it was snowing, it was the last game of the year, and somebody had to do something. And so I don't fault him for nothing. I think finally we can stop painting our nails. That's weird to me, but he can do what he's got to do. Like I said, if I was going to paint my nails, I would use spray paint. That would be a little more manly. Like actually sitting there and letting somebody touch you and do all your cuticles and all that is a little too far for me. Just dip your hands in paint and let's go, if that's what you want to do. But either way, kudos to him for a heck of a second season. His stats don't reflect how good he is, because all of his great passes that people drop, like in a pinch, he got the thing where he runs to the sideline and the receiver does the same thing 30 yards out, and he'll put it on the rope. Sometimes they catch him, most times they don't. Devontae Adams had one on us today. It was smooth, and it's like, yeah, we need somebody that's surely going to catch it. So I would love to keep the same everything, but if not, let's not get rookies. Let's get veterans. Let's trade draft picks for veterans. And like, screw the draft. We got a nice team. Get some D linemen and linebacker that are actually going to get to the ball. We need a new Urlacher. I would love to take Khalil Mack back. He says he wants to come back apparently, but he's got to get to the ball. I don't want that dancing. And then Jalen Johnson can leave the team. I think we're worse with him in. Even though he was our only Pro Bowler last year, this year he was injured most of the year, and we did great without him. So he's probably got some value. We can trade him up, let him go do something somewhere else. We need to find a guy like Puka Nacua that you can trust. And then we need to double team guys like Puka Nacua when they're against us, because man, he was always in soft coverage, jabbing us, man, just jabbing us. But we held it together. The defense was freaking awesome. Testament Day. So I am proud of the team. I'm proud to go into the off season. I feel good about the future. I hope we've broken the omen and we can do multiple seasons of good football. I mean, and again, like I tell you, we haven't been playing great football. We've been known to play, for me, 8 minutes of football and nearly beat any team that we're going up against. So this would be the third game that I can think of, maybe fourth game, where we actually played football, hung in there, and went back-to-back, toe-to-toe. Most games, we were like invisible for 3 quarters, and then fourth quarter, all of a sudden, So congrats, Bears, the team. The city is proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm never been proud of the Bears, even in the Super Bowl season. And the reason why is because we were supposed to win that Super Bowl. And we could have, except we wouldn't stop throwing the ball. And we threw it to the wrong color shirts, which is silly. So, yep, let's do it. Let's bear down. Next season could be awesome. Could be awesome. Love you.